Ever thought Snap Maps was just a fun way to see where your buddies were hanging out without you? Well, think again. It was a typical Friday night for Jenna, a senior at Clearwood High, who loved nothing more than chilling at home with a good movie. Her parents were out of town, and she had the house all to herself. Or so she thought. Jenna was a social media aficionado, always sharing snippets of her life on Snapchat. It was harmless fun, right? Wrong. She had her Snap Map feature on, visible to all her friends, and why not? Everyone loves showing off now and then. However, that night, Jenna's love for social sharing took a dark turn. Around 9 p.m., Jenna was nestled on her couch, halfway through a horror movie, her phone buzzing non-stop with notifications. Amidst the usual snaps from friends, one notification stood out. It was from a user she didn't recognize, TommyBoy123. Curiosity got the better of her, and she added him back. After all, what was the harm in one more friend? Minutes after accepting the ad, TommyBoy123 sent her a snap. Jenna opened it, her heart skipping a beat. It was a photo of her own house, taken from the street outside. The caption read, "Nice movie choice." Chills ran down her spine. How did this stranger know what she was watching? And why was he outside her house? Panicking, Jenna replied, asking TommyBoy123 who he was and what he wanted. No reply came. Instead, another snap arrived, this time a video. The clip was short, just a few seconds long, but it was enough to make her stomach turn. It showed her living room window from the outside, the TV's glow visible in the background. The caption was even more unnerving, "Why watch alone?" Jenna was frozen in fear. Was this some sick joke? She checked her Snap Map, and there it was, a Bitmoji, right on top of her house, the avatar grinning eerily. She quickly switched her settings to ghost mode, but the damage was done. The stranger knew where she was. Her mind raced. Should she call the police? Before she could decide, the front doorbell rang. Jenna jumped. She approached the door hesitantly, peeping through the spy hole. On her porch was a figure, hooded and unrecognizable. Heart pounding, Jenna didn't dare open the door. Instead, she shouted, "I've called the police. They're on their way." No response. The figure just stood there, ominously still. Jenna backed away, grabbing her phone to actually call the police this time. As she waited in a panic, the visitor vanished. The police arrived minutes later, but there was no sign of TommyBoy123. They scoured the area, finding only a single Polaroid photo dropped on the porch. It was a picture of Jenna watching her movie, clearly taken earlier that evening through the living room window. The police urged Jenna to be more careful about sharing her location online. They patrolled the area for a few nights, but TommyBoy123 seemed to have disappeared into the night as mysteriously as he had appeared. Jenna learned a harsh lesson about privacy that night. She never turned her Snap Map on again, and she made sure to tell all her friends about the dangers of oversharing online. The fear lingered though, a constant reminder every time her phone buzzed with a new notification. Who was watching this time?
Do you feel that tingling? That's the fear running through your veins. If you love the thrill and don't want to miss any of our scary stories, hit the subscribe button.
Meet Tyler, a college sophomore known for his laid-back attitude and love for late-night adventures. He often used Snapchat to document his escapades, sharing them with a close circle of friends. Tyler lived in a student apartment complex near the university, a place buzzing with young energy and endless activities. Little did he know, his fondness for Snapchat was about to turn his world upside down. It was a brisk October evening, and Tyler was gearing up for a solo midnight skate through the campus, a ritual to clear his mind during exam season. Before setting out, he posted a snap on his story, showing his skateboard and a caption that read, "Night owls see the best sights." He left his location settings broad, thinking nothing of it, his Snap Map displayed only to friends, after all. The campus was eerily quiet, with only the distant hum of the city life breaking the silence. Tyler coasted along, the smooth rhythm of his wheels on the pavement calming his nerves. Every now and then, he stopped to snap picturesque views of the moonlit campus. But as the night deepened, Tyler felt a growing sense of unease. It was as if he wasn't alone. Trying to shake off the feeling, he continued his journey until he reached the old part of the university, known for its Gothic architecture and tales of hauntings. It was the perfect backdrop for his Halloween-themed Snapchat story. He took a few snaps of the shadowy buildings, their spires silhouetted against the night sky, not noticing the figure quietly following him from a distance. After posting his last photo, Tyler decided to call it a night. As he turned to head back, his phone buzzed. A snap notification from someone named Watchermark23. Tyler frowned. The username didn't ring any bells. Curiosity prevailed, and he opened the snap. It was a photo of him, taken from behind, snapping the Gothic buildings moments earlier. The caption read, "You're not alone." A chill ran down Tyler's spine. He quickly looked around, but saw no one. Thinking it was a prank, he snapped back, "Very funny." "Who is this?" The immediate reply was another photo this time, a close-up of his skateboard, the picture clearly taken from just a few feet away. The caption was even more disturbing, "I'm closer than you think." Tyler's heart raced. He turned off his snap map and started skating faster than he ever had, not stopping to look back. His mind raced with thoughts of every horror movie he'd ever seen. Was this how they started? With a harmless snap? He didn't stop until he reached his apartment. Safely inside, he blocked the mysterious user and checked his apartment doors and windows meticulously, ensuring everything was locked. He tried to convince himself it was just a student playing a Halloween prank, but the fear lingered, refusing to be shrugged off. The next morning, Tyler reported the incident to campus security, showing them the snaps. They took it seriously, especially since there had been reports of a few similar incidents recently. They advised him to be cautious and to keep his social media private. For weeks, Tyler avoided going out alone at night. He kept his Snapchat on lockdown and started using a more private account. The mysterious Watchermark23 never reappeared in his contacts. Perhaps it was a prank, or perhaps the warning was heeded. Tyler's experience left him wary of how he shared his life online. The thrill of social media had lost its charm, replaced by the stark reminder that sometimes you might entertain an audience you never intended to invite. Sarah was a high school junior with a penchant for ghost stories and paranormal investigations, a hobby she shared eagerly on Snapchat with anyone who would watch. Her followers loved her thrilling tales of haunted places around her small town, each snap more spine-tingling than the last. Sarah's obsession with the supernatural was well known, but what wasn't known was how close the darkness would come to her own life. One chilly November evening, Sarah decided to explore the old Millwood farm, a place rumored to be cursed after a series of unexplained disappearances decades ago. Armed with only her phone and a flashlight, she announced her adventure on Snapchat, naively enabling her snap map for her followers to see her progress in real time. As she approached the dilapidated farmhouse, her phone lit up with notifications. Snaps from friends wishing her luck mixed with messages from anonymous viewers, one of whom seemed particularly interested. The user, Ghost Follower 666, sent her a series of snaps showing old photos of the farm, each accompanied by cryptic messages like they watched from the shadows and beware the eyes that follow. Unsettled but determined, Sarah pressed on, documenting each step into the farmhouse. The floorboards creaked under her feet, and the wind howled through broken windows, a perfect setting for her ghostly narrative. She explored each room, narrating her thoughts and pausing occasionally to listen for the sounds of the paranormal. Deep in the house, Sarah entered what appeared to be an old nursery. Toys lay scattered on the floor, and a dusty crib stood against the wall. As she described the scene to her followers, her phone buzzed again. Another snap from Ghost Follower 666 showed the exact room she was in, but it looked different, older, with a figure standing by the crib. The caption read, "Can you see her?" Heart pounding, Sarah spun around, her flashlight casting wild shadows across the walls. There was nobody there, just an empty room. She responded to the snap, her fingers trembling as she typed, "Who is this? What do you want?" No response came. Instead, another snap arrived, this time a live video from the user, showing the outside of the farmhouse. It was a live view. Someone was filming her from outside at that very moment. The message was clear: leave now. Terrified, Sarah didn't need to be told twice. She ran from the nursery, her breaths echoing in the silent house. As she fled, her phone continued to buzz with notifications, but she ignored them, focusing only on escaping. The old wooden floorboards groaned ominously under her sprinting steps, intensifying her fear. Bursting out of the farmhouse and into the cold night air, Sarah didn't stop until she reached the safety of her car. Once inside, she locked the doors and finally allowed herself to catch her breath, her heart still racing. She glanced at her phone. Among the flurry of concerned messages from friends, there was one last snap from Ghost Follower 666. It was a picture of her car, taken from a distance, with the final message: "Next time, you won't see me coming." Shaking, Sarah drove straight to the police station. She showed the officers the snaps and explained everything. The police took her statement and promised to investigate, though they were skeptical of the supernatural elements. They did, however, patrol the area, finding nothing but the old, empty farmhouse whispering with the wind. The incident shook Sarah to her core. She became more cautious about her explorations and stopped sharing her location on social media. The mysterious Ghost Follower 666 disappeared from Snapchat, and no further messages came. But the fear remained, a constant shadow in her mind, reminding her that some stories are better left untold. Sarah continued her ghostly pursuits, but never again did she venture out alone. She learned the hard way that some followers might be more sinister than they appear, lurking in the darkness, waiting for a chance to step into the light. If you want to see more horror stories, check out my next video.